Patrick, Saturday roundups for National. Nick Rockett, is this your best chance of winning the Grey Race?
It's a fantastic way to build up. Look, I think he will be one of the smallest horses in the field. He's not big, but he's very clever, he's very brave. There are two attributes you need.
Modern National, does it ride to you differently than it did, say, 5, 6, 7 years ago? Is it a very different race?
Well, look, the biggest change now was there's 6 less horses. Definitely, I only rode over the stronger fences once or twice, but definitely the fences are more fighting now, and you're not maybe as... phrase the right word, but you're not maybe as respectful of them, but I think they still catch people out. You can still get a fall. I think it's a much safer race, and generally I'm in favour of it.
People have that can jump lower and quicker in a National nowadays. You're the other guys riding horses, can you all?
Definitely, because you see Tiger Roll will bring that at it, because obviously they used to be just straight solid stakes, so if you hit it you flipped, whereas now they're slanted rubber hurdles. So what happens if you get too low, they actually bounce the horse up. Just you get him seated, the horse will probably stay going. But I rode a horse box with George. He was second in the boxing industry. I rode him around 4 times. The first 3 times done brilliantly, and in the 4th time was the first thing they brought in the plastic, and just kept being lower and lower and lower. Eventually, it's teaching me, so he copped straight away.
Let's talk about I Am Maximus. We didn't run in the Bobby Joe. How big a worry would that be for you?
To me, it is a concern. Only 2 rows. Ideally you kind of want 3, 4 really. He had 4 last year. Look, it was only a stone bruise. We didn't miss much time, but he did miss match practice. And Ruby's a big believer just because of the length of the race. They just need match practice. He felt that cough at Minden the last year he rode here. But he's working very well. We've got plenty of good work into him. He's been in training all season. So, it is what it is.
Danny, same colours, different cap. Danny rides meeting at the Waters. He looked a massive player going to the second last year. Can you see him seeing it out better this time around?
I thought everything went right. I think Danny gave him a fabulous ride last year. I think everything went right. And watching him come down to second last year again, here we go. And he just didn't quite get home. He's coming here this year in slightly worse form. The National had always been a plan, but we would have hoped he'd run better, to be honest, the last twice. I think I don't see any reason why he's going to stay better this year. 7 and 8-year-old, maybe.
Outside a great ride for Johnny Burke to pick up on Manella Kakuna. Looking at the ground, that will suit him. This seems to be his time of year.
Yeah, look, he's a Grade 1 winner. Grade 1 winner, and has a lot of experience, obviously, in his big field handicap chases. This has been the bad of rolling away in his Grade 1s and running musical ways back into a handicap now. He will enjoy the ground. I think he'll jump very well. It's a huge chance, yeah.
How hard is it for you when you have to reach outside the usual jockeys to make that decision of where to go for an outside lot?
Well, look, I think we kind of thought we might have Sean Bowen, and then obviously Gordon's burst got in, so then we didn't have Sean Bowen, and then Johnny was on our list, and Johnny obviously used to ride for us, who had a big winner for us, very much so, with Punch on many years. We started off with us, and so we'd been in contact with Johnny, and then obviously there was a thing with Bryony and Paul, and that all happened within a couple of hours. And Johnny, it's a hard decision. He came down on our horse, but I mean, I think if when it is the National, you do have to be a little bit selfish, perhaps.
Grace Clare West on that Irish Gold Cup second, splitting galloping to Champagne Factor Fire. He looks a big chance.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best single piece of form in the race. Splitting down Champagne Factor Fire. It obviously means he doesn't have much secret to him, the handicapper, but he needed the run in Navan in order to qualify with the runs wise, and look, 2.5 miles of heavy ground isn't really his thing. He's presenting, loves go ground, should stay. I think he's a lot of weight, but I think Brian Hayes will get a great tune.
What about adamantly chosen? Is it the stamina? Is that question mark for him, the trip?
Adamantly chosen in the Topham today.
That's not the one I was after. Do you think they'll get the trip in the topper?
I think you will, yeah.
Appreciate it, and the Grand National will be the one. What is it interesting?
I should have flipped on that. Appreciate it. I rode Murk last week, and I was second on him in the John Durkin, splitting faster, slow, and galloping Shams. And I rode Murk last week, and how has this horse not won an Open Grade 1? Obviously, he blew apart the spring novices. He still feels great. He is 11. He has those big runs in him. The trip is the question mark, because he does seem to have had his best runs at kind of 2.5, 2.6, 2 miles. But on this good ground, if he gets into it, he's a fabulous jumper. A bit like I can see him cross the Miller Road from Erd Hill, and what happens after that?
Go. I mean, the recent years, and finally, what you've done the close-up to is rewritten the record books. Father-son combo winning the Grand National. Do you even dare dream about it?
I've dreamt about it. Yeah, certainly, since I was very young. But Yeah, like look, I remember reading books on the history of the match and going back to the lottery and then the Lamb with him first duel winner and Reynolds and Troytown and the history of it is what really I enjoy about it. And obviously David and Emmett have got there, so myself and Danny are scrambling to get our names on it as well, and Rachel obviously as well. So if you're quite happy, it will be a dream.
Find out, but